Hey there, Call of Duty fans. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most exciting features returning in Call of Duty Black Ops 6, perks. You know, those game-changing abilities that can totally flip the script on your gameplay. With 3 perk slots in your loadout, 4 if you're feeling spicy with the Perk Greed wildcard, there's a ton of room for creativity, but with 7 different perks in each slot, finding the perfect combo is key. Whether you're a stealthy sniper or a run and gun assault player, picking the right perks can seriously enhance your playstyle. Now, we all know not every perk is created equal. Some will elevate your game to legendary status, while others might just fade into the background like that one teammate who never seems to know where to go. So, in this video, we're going to break down the perks that will make the biggest impact on your loadout and those that you might want to leave behind. Get ready to unleash your inner soldier and optimize your gameplay like never before. Let's get into it. I'm quickly moving on to the video and I'm ranking perks in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
My friends, only 0.1% of viewers subscribe. If you like this type of content, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you in advance for your support.
The perks in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Bruiser. Alright, let's dive into the nitty-gritty of the Bruiser perk in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. So, you've just eliminated an enemy up close with a melee attack or a finisher, and what do you get? A bit of health back, right? But let's be real here. Replenishing health on a melee elimination isn't going to change the game for most players. If you're the type to run around with a melee weapon, sure, it might feel nice to have that little boost, but it's not like it's going to flip the script in a heated match. Most players just aren't making melee kills a regular part of their strategy, and that's where this perk starts to fall flat. Now, don't get me wrong, the extra score you gain can help you rack up those score streaks a bit faster. But let's face it, relying on melee kills to make the most of the Bruiser perk is like trying to win a race on a tricycle while everyone else is on motorcycles. If you're playing it smart, you're likely focused on range combat and melee just doesn't cut it in that scenario. In the end, the Bruiser perk lands firmly in the D tier, more of a fun gimmick than a game changer. So, if you're considering it, maybe think twice and save your slots for something that's going to make a real difference on the battlefield. The perks in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Scavenger, Assassin, Double Time, and Vigilance. Alright, let's dive into the world of perks in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. We've got some interesting options in the C tier that definitely deserve a chat. They're not the worst perks you can pick, but they're kind of like that snack you find at the back of the cupboard. You might nibble on it when you're desperate, but it's probably not your first choice. So, let's break down these perks and see what they're all about. First up, we have Scavenger. Now, for most players, this perk might feel a little underwhelming. Sure, it's nice to pick up extra ammo from fallen foes when you're on a hot streak, but let's be real, when you could just grab a new weapon off the ground, why sacrifice a valuable perk slot for it? If you're having a good game and running low on ammo, maybe consider that sniper rifle lying in the corner instead. Sometimes, going for a fresh weapon is a smarter move than sticking with a nearly empty one. Next, let's talk about Assassin. This perk gives you intel on any enemies racking up a kill streak, which can be handy. After all, who doesn't love shutting down that one guy who's just obliterating your team? However, in the grand scheme of things, you might find better options that prevent those kill streaks from happening in the first place. It's like waiting to catch a thief instead of just locking the door. You're probably better off using that slot for something that gives you a more significant edge from the start. Then we have Double Time. I get it. Who wouldn't want to sprint for longer? But let's face it, there are times when sprinting isn't the best move. You're much slower to aim and fire when you're zooming around the map. This perk can help you dart across the battlefield, but wouldn't you rather have a perk that enhances your firefight skills? Just think about it. Faster movement is great, but sometimes it's better to hold your ground and take out enemies with precision. Finally, let's look at Vigilance. This perk offers immunity to CUAVs and enemy scramblers, which sounds cool, right? The problem is, it really depends on your matchmaking luck. If you're in a lobby where no one's using those tools, this perk isn't doing you any favors. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. Great in theory, but not practical in most matches. You might find yourself wishing you had invested in something more consistently useful, so there you have it. The C tier perks in Black Ops 6 aren't exactly game changers, but they do have their moments. If you're playing for fun or just trying to mix things up, give them a shot. Otherwise, it might be best to stick with perks that actually give you a solid advantage on the battlefield. Happy gaming, and may your loadouts always be on point. The perks in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Gung Ho, Dexterity, Forward Intel, Quartermaster, Gearhead, and Guardian. Alright, let's dive into the world of perks in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Today, we're focusing on the B tier perks, those that aren't quite the stars of the show, but still bring some solid value to the table. You know, the perks that are like that reliable friend who always shows up, but isn't necessarily the life of the party. So, let's break down what these perks can do for you and when they shine the brightest. First up, we have Gung Ho. Now, I have to say, this perk is like your trusty utility belt. It boosts your movement speed while reloading or using equipment, which is nice, but it doesn't hold a candle to some of the top tier perks out there. However, if you're aiming to unlock the Enforcer combat specialty, this one becomes a pretty handy addition to your arsenal. It's all about keeping that momentum going, and while it's not a game changer, it definitely adds a bit of convenience to your gameplay. Next on our list is Dexterity. Similar to Gung Ho, Dexterity is all about enhancing your movement capabilities. This perk helps you stay on target while you're moving, which can be a lifesaver in those high-octane moments. But, just like Gung Ho, it doesn't stack up against the more powerful perks in slot 1. Still, if you love darting around the map and keeping your enemies on their toes, this perk might just be the boost you need to land those critical shots. Now let's talk about Forward Intel. This one's a bit of a mixed bag. It provides you with better intel, which is always nice, but the actual intel you get is somewhat minimal. That said, in any game mode, having a wider minimap radius can be a game changer. You might spot an enemy flanking you or notice a teammate in trouble before it's too late. So, while it may not be the most exciting perk, it's definitely useful for staying aware of your surroundings. Moving on, we have Quartermaster. This perk allows you to recharge your equipment over time, which can be a lifesaver in certain situations. However, let's be real, there are times when you won't even get a chance to use your equipment multiple times before respawning. But when it does come in handy, oh boy, it can really turn the tide of a fight. Imagine tossing down a well-placed mine just as the enemy rolls in. That's what Quartermaster is all about, having that tactical advantage when it matters most. And finally, let's wrap things up with Gearhead. This perk is multifaceted, which makes it a bit more interesting. Its standout feature is the increased usage of field upgrades. Pair it with something like the Spring Mine, and you could end up racking up a few extra kills each match. It's a great option if you love using your field upgrades and want to maximize their potential. Just remember, it's not going to win you games on its own, but it can certainly help swing the momentum in your favor. So there you have it, folks. These B tier perks might not be the flashiest options out there, but they definitely have their moments. Whether you're reloading on the go or keeping an eye on the minimap, these perks can add some extra flavor to your Call of Duty experience. Which of these perks do you find the most useful? Let me know in the comments below. The perks in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Ninja, Tac Mask to Tracker, Dispatcher, Bankroll, and Cold-Blooded. Alright folks, let's dive into the A tier perks in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 that can totally elevate your game. First up, we have Ninja. This little gem is a game changer, making it way harder for your enemies to hear your sneaky movements. Imagine creeping around the map like a phantom. Just a heads up though, you can't stack it with Ghost unless you're rocking the Greed wildcard. But if you do, you'll be a ghostly ninja that no one can pin down. Good luck catching that. Next on our list is Tac Mask. If you've ever been flashed or concussed mid-gunfight, you know how frustrating it can be. This perk won't eliminate those annoying effects entirely, but it gives you a fighting chance to stay in the game. You'll still feel the sting, but with Tac Mask, you won't be sitting ducks waiting for the inevitable demise. So, gear up, and let's turn those tactical grenades into minor inconveniences instead. Now, let's chat about Tracker. Individually, its effects might seem pretty meh, but combined, they're like a dynamic duo that really packs a punch. You can see enemy footprints, which is fantastic for avoiding ambushes, and when you ADS, aim down sights, at someone, they get pinned automatically. This not only gives you a heads up, but also feeds crucial intel to your squad. Imagine rolling into a fight knowing exactly where your enemies are. Priceless. Moving on, we've got Dispatcher. If you're a fan of non-lethal score streaks like UAVs and scout pulses, you'll love this perk. It makes getting those handy streaks a breeze. Picture this, you're running around the map, racking up UAVs left and right. By the end of the match, your situational awareness will be through the roof, giving you the edge you need to dominate the battlefield. More intel equals more wins, right? Then there's Bankroll. If you want to earn score streaks even faster, this perk is your ticket. It helps you rack up points towards all score streaks, not just the non-lethal ones. Sure, it doesn't provide a huge boost, but hey, every little bit helps. It means it'll only take one less kill to earn that game-changing streak. You can turn the tide of a match faster than you can say score streaks. Last but definitely not least is cold-blooded. Have you ever faced an enemy turret or an AI targeting device and just thought, nope, not today? Cold-blooded ensures those pesky gadgets won't target you. Plus, if the other team is relying on smoke or thermal tactics, they'll be cursing when they can't lock onto you. This perk is all about survival, letting you play more aggressively without worrying about getting obliterated by automated turrets. So there you have it, folks. A-tier perks that can really make a difference in your gameplay. Whether you're sneaking around like a ninja or staying off the radar with cold-blooded, these perks can help you secure those sweet, sweet victories. Get out there and start using them. The perks in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Ghost, Flak Jacket, Engineer, and Fast Hands. Alright folks, let's dive right into the heart of the action with some of the absolute best S-tier perks in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. These are the game changers that can take your gameplay from average to legendary. So, if you want to dominate the battlefield and leave your opponents in the dust, stick around because we're breaking down these perks one by one. First up, we have Ghost. Now, if you're tired of being spotted by enemy scouts, UAVs, and those pesky proximity alarms while you're trying to sneak around, Ghost is your best friend. This perk gives you the freedom to move stealthily across the map, allowing you to flank enemies without worrying about them pre-firing the corners. Imagine rolling up on a group of unsuspecting foes while they're scanning for you. Priceless. Ghost is all about staying off the radar and making your presence a total surprise. Trust me, your enemies won't know what hit them. Next on the list is Flak Jacket. This is a must-have for anyone who wants to minimize explosive damage. Picture this, you're in a heated gunfight and someone lobs a grenade your way. Instead of taking the hit and getting taken out, you're still standing strong thanks to Flak Jacket. It significantly reduces damage from explosions and incendiary attacks, giving you that crucial second chance in tight situations. With Flak Jack, you'll be the one coming out on top when the dust settles, and that grenade becomes a mere inconvenience rather than your demise. Let's not forget about Engineer. This perk is a lifesaver when it comes to avoiding traps and score streaks. There's nothing worse than running into a hidden enemy trap, right? Engineer highlights these traps and score streaks through walls, so you can see what's ahead and plan your move. If you still fall into a trap after using Engineer, well, that's on you. It's all about giving you the intel you need to stay one step ahead of the enemy and keep your death count low. Finally, we have Fast Hands. If you're rocking Overkill, this perk is a total game changer. Fast Hands allows you to switch between weapons at lightning speed, which is essential when you're facing opponents at varying ranges. Imagine having an assault rifle for mid-range engagements and a shotgun for those close encounters, and being able to swap between them in a heartbeat. That's how you turn the tide of battle in your favor. Fast Hands not only boosts your versatility, but also makes you feel like a tactical master on the battlefield. So, there you have it. These S-tier perks, Ghost, Flak Jacket, Engineer, and Fast Hands, are the secret ingredients to elevating your game in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Equip these so you do and you'll be well on your way to outsmarting, outmaneuvering, and outgunning your opponents. Don't forget to share your own favorite perks in the comments below. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.